Hello everyone, welcome to a new live stream for the stock market analysis. It has been a while, and of course we have today of course to analyze all the market in general, NASDAQ, SPX, Tesla, and Nvidia. So we're gonna see as well potentially Apple and Amazon maybe, so we might see of course what it might happen. Of course, it's gonna be a little bit a short live stream, but to get an overview for what is going on. The thing right now is I'm trying to reach the chat box, but I cannot see the chat box. I don't know why. Okay, something went wrong, says YouTube. Let me check the chat box on the channel. Potentially it's showing it up. 1 second. All right, and here we go. So basically we saw a very nice move for the stock market. Let me see if it is okay. Yes, now I got you guys. I see the chat box. Shafi, welcome to the live stream. Currently we're gonna see of course what we're gonna have on NASDAQ. Glad to have you back. Thank you, man. To lies, and you have only been back last. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm very excited as well for coming back and to see some Elliott waves analysis. Everyone smashed the thank you, Shafi. Tesla or any of the MAG7 stocks? Yes, we're gonna do Tesla. Basically, it's gonna be for the major stocks, right? So we're gonna start with NASDAQ, SPX, Tesla, and Nvidia, and maybe Apple and Amazon. So let's see what do we have first on the 4 days for NASDAQ here. So on NASDAQ, we have already 1, 2, 1, 2, of course, and we have this 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside. We are currently in a wave 5 to be finishing, of course, as an impulse. We need to see an impulse finished in this area, knowing that this move towards the downside is very corrective as expected. and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Let's dive inside it, and we see, of course, inside this wave 5, we see the following count, which is, of course, very close to our recession signal. As I mentioned before, of course, that we have here an ABC as an expanding flat, a much higher possibility. However, this expanding flat has finished potentially here as 3 waves toward the downside, which is not, of course, a wave C characteristic. It should be, of course, an impulse, seeing, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. However, it has finished perfectly inside the blue box anyway, between the 1.38, 1.618, a very nice precision, 100% hit, and of course moving or rebound toward the upside. However, we have to call this so far an W, X, and a Y. We cannot call it ABC, and that because, of course, it is a 3-wave characteristic for a wave Y here. Meaning we are still looking at potential maybe for lower, but of course we're gonna reassess this rebound here soon. And if we move a little bit inside it here, we can see that this move towards the upside looks impulsive, right? It looks impulsive. We did not invalidate yet, so meaning right now you are in a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm gonna just mention some very critical price action here. So as you can see, the high has been taken only here. This second wave, which was supposed to be a wave 5, if you can see here, there is a gap. So we didn't took the high 100%, which is not really nice. The second critical thing is, if you have 1, 2 here, your wave 2 has took the 886. Which is, of course, a very low potential for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, guys. And I see much more like an ABC here, and finished ABC again corrective, and you're looking for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a bigger wave C. And that because, again, the critical points that we have, 886, truncation, or failing to take the high, meaning turning it as 3 waves, and then 3 waves down as well, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We are still potentially corrective. Now, if it is a truncated, which I don't like it as well, because truncation means, of course, a failure of the impulse. And that means, of course, you move directly towards the downside, as you can see here. However, the market was saved with some news. We all know the news, of course, from Donald Trump, and of course the pose of the tariffs moving towards the 10% over the world for the US economy, unless of course the Chinese one, 125 or maybe even more to come. So the things are escalating, I would say. It's not calming down. I don't see really something impulsive yet. Now, of course, this impulse has to be finished with one more leg toward the upside. So potentially today we might see, of course, some green still, but to be re-estimated in this area, guys. Once we finish a wave 5, we might finish a wave C, we might finish an A, B, and a C, meaning a correction, meaning continuation for the trend towards the downside. So we have to be careful from this scenario. Don't forget that the untrust has been created between all the countries and the US economy. So it doesn't matter now if the tariffs are moving for lower or pause for 90 days or something. The trust is not there anymore, right, between the economies and the global economical countries. So that is not a good thing. Even I don't see it like really nice news that it might, of course, move the market like very, very impulsively. Okay, it might recover a little bit, but I don't see it yet, guys. I don't see it that it is moving like very, very high. Now, this rebound is necessarily, as you can see, of course, very, very close for our yellow line, the recession signal. Not taken. Very nice that it's not taken yet, unless we see a better news. We want to hear a better news. We want to see zero tariffs. We want to see or we want to hear that, okay, there is no 90 days anymore. That is just peace. There is no trade war anymore. And this is, of course, can be a much more, I would say, much more trustable scenario for a bullish, again. However, because we finished as well 3 waves rather than an impulse for wave C, we saw invalidation anyway with this rebound. It's good that we saw invalidation, meaning if you have 1, 2, 3 and wave 4, it has been invalidated, right? Meaning invalidation, there is no also very massive move towards the downside. Potentially we will not take the low, but we would like to see something forming as really bullish. We want to see clean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, showing some trust in the market, to say, okay, that we're moving for higher. What I expect is, of course, still one more corrective wave towards the downside, potentially once we finish this one more leg, finishing an A, B, and a C, moving 3 waves down, and then potentially higher again for a wave C. And this will bring much more time and much more, I would say, influence for the investors, that the things might start, of course, to recover, to really recover. However, if this happens, the problem is that you are still corrective, unless one scenario can be very, very nice and bullish, is the formation of a leading diagonal. This leading diagonal might be a zigzag, where you might have, okay, it might be a truncated impulse here, wave B, wave C finished as a zigzag, formation of a wave 1. That will be nice scenario to start, of course, the bullish market. I don't see it yet very, very bullish, unless, guys, I want to see, of course, some movement toward the upside very high. Meaning, I would like to see the 1.618 reached as a wave 3. Here we go. First, okay, we got the uncommon target. That's very nice, which is the 1.27. That's nice. I would like to see, of course, with this wave 5, I would like to see the 1.618 hit. If this happens and I see 3 waves toward the downside after it, just like this, not reaching this invalidation, I would call a bullish market again. So as you can see, there are several steps to be sure that we are bullish again, guys. Okay, first step is getting the high, getting the 1.618 as a wave 5 for this impulse, which is your wave 3 supposedly. Moving towards the downside, 3 wave corrective, not reaching the invalidation, moving up again, impulsive toward the upside. That will be a signal, of course, of the first scenario for a bullish market. Second scenario, getting one more leg toward the upside. It doesn't matter here if you hit the 1.618 or not. What it matters is to take the high. Taking the high here will finish an impulse. Okay, finishing this impulse will create a zigzag, right? I know it is corrective, but don't forget that, of course, a zigzag can be a wave 1 for a diagonal, leading diagonal. And that means, of course, in this case scenario, the rebound towards the downside can invalidate this scenario, which is, of course, your yellow line. And this is, which is much more close to the probability, to be honest, because of this critical price action here in the wave A. It looks like much more like a wave A rather than a wave 1. Okay, so therefore higher potential is going for this scenario where we might have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finished wave 1, getting a wave 2 after it, okay, and then moving towards the upside. Guys, it depends, of course, on the news here in the low, the news. The better news we get, the higher chance that we, of course, get closer for a bullish scenario. And then, of course, moving explosively here toward the upside, with a wave 3. This is my reading for NASDAQ right now. I see, of course, some potential of bullish, right? But the risk is still there. Meaning, in the bearish right now, so I just said the bullish scenarios that it might unfold and the possibilities. The bearish scenarios is still, of course, looking for this one more leg, or not. Nobody knows. Maybe today we get some really bad news. If we get this one more leg toward the upside, okay, you want to see, you don't want to see the low taken. Very simple. If you move very impulsively toward the downside, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5, you took the low, okay? And that means, of course, continuation for the market, for the bear market. Taking this yellow is a very, very bad signal, okay? We're back to the to the recession, guys, threat. So far, higher potential now is for the bullish, I would say, is for the bullish, but I would like to see, of course, the one of those two scenarios working. I don't want to see the price getting back inside the blue zone. If we see the price getting back in this blue zone, that is also very, very risky, very dangerous, and we're very close again for the recession signal. I would like to see 3 wave. That would be awesome, of course. This is a most bullish, not hitting even the yellow line here as invalidation, continuation toward the upside. Okay, if we see the price taking this yellow, we still, of course, have a chance for bullish. We need to see, of course, a zigzag here, not getting back inside the blue zone. Getting back inside the blue zone, the risk, the more we dive deeper, the more the risk, of course, becomes bigger to reach the recession. Reaching the recession means, guys, very, very bad. I'm gonna explain. So reaching this yellow line, why I'm saying this is a recession? Because if you have 1, 2, 3, you're looking at this corrective wave, which is your wave 4, which is not allowed to interfere with the zone 1. If the price, whether it is corrective, impulsive, it doesn't matter. If the price reaches this zone, invalidation of all this impulse, meaning all these waves here becomes corrective, and bringing this impulse to be corrective, meaning you're looking for this low, you're looking for this area, and that is very, very hectic, right? It's a very, very a huge move towards the downside. You don't want to see this invalidation or invalidation of this impulse taken, which is your recession. So these are depends right now, of course, on some news as well. Today we have some news also. We have inflation, so be careful. It's a very, very important day. We have inflation rate. We might see, of course, potentially today is the decision. It might be the decision as well. No, this is going to affect the rate decision, actually. So yeah, very important data today is coming out. We might see, of course, some volatility here. Yeah, so be careful, guys. Bilyak, welcome, man. Welcome to the live stream. Haven't seen it jump that higher ever. Well, yeah. Basically, it's a nice rebound, but don't forget how much bad it was before. Yeah, so a lot of investors were just waiting for such a news just to enter, because it's dramatic here. Yeah, it's very dramatic. But you are very right. It's very rare to get such a rebound. Here you can see some, here a little bit, but not so strong as this one. Yes, that's very true. And even thought, as I mentioned, it's a very nice that it has hit the invalidation of an impulse toward the downside, and that because, of course, at least we can say we're not impulsive anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is good, and that is a chance that, okay, we don't have to take the low anymore. That is good, because, of course, you took this high here, exactly at the 1.27. That's awesome. But you would like to see continuation. You would like to see some good spirit in the market. Yeah, so this is the thing. If we don't see this, that is very critical, guys. Next target is the 1.618, one more leg toward the upside, 19K800, and we take it from there. Of course, if we see a drop, massive drop, hitting the first yellow line, this is where the risk start to increase, guys. Again, here, once you hit this, you are 50% bearish again. Okay, now we are 30%, I would say, bearish. You have a very high potential for continuation toward the upside, but hitting this this yellow line, we're back to break even. Yeah, we are in uncertainty again between bullish and bearish for the market. Moving lower, yeah, hitting the blue zone here, getting higher to 70%, you are bearish. Okay, getting out of the blue zone directly towards the yellow, wow, okay, it's done, guys. Yeah, so this is how the market right now are going to be performing. Yeah, so we're gonna see what's gonna be. I wish that, of course, we all wish some healthy market, because this is a destroyer for all the market, not just for the stock market or the US market. It is a destroyer for the global economy. Yeah, this zone is a destroyer, guys. Yeah, so we don't want to see it back to this area. Let's take a look at the SPX. The SPX, wow, okay. So as you know, guys, I was in a trip for 1 week, and we were, I was not really active, but I tried my best, of course. But here we go. I mean, the scenarios are already there, given, and the blue zone has been hit during the trip. And here we go. We are in potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very nice. Okay. All right. What's going on the SPX is we have, okay, let's move a little bit bigger. I like just to see it in an overview first, and then get inside it step by step. So, okay, the SPX is a very huge, long chart. Okay, 2 weeks even. All right, here we go. All right, so on the SPX, we have double 1, 2, right? We have 1, 2, 1, 2. We have 3, 4, and a 5 to finish wave 3 in the blue. We have ABC for a wave 4, meaning currently we are in wave 5 in the blue scenario. Okay, very nice, which is the main, okay, it is the main scenario here, all right? Okay, interesting, because you have a 1, 2 here in the blue. You finish a wave 3, 4, and a 5. Are we at the top for SPX? Well, yeah, we're gonna see inside this area. So very interesting. If we have a 1, 2 here, you're looking for 3, 4, and a 5. Now the blue zone is taken definitely for the 1.0 fib level, and 0.618 taken from this wave 1 here. Yeah, and based on the wave 3 giving us exactly this blue zone. We were very close to the blue zone, but it was interrupted, of course, with this dramatic scenario. Yeah, so right now we are looking at this 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Let's dive inside it on the 4 days chart. What do we have here is the following scenarios. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's true, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for a wave 1. Actually, I would say the wave 5 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, something can be unfolding here. Let me check. This is a corrective wave 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. No, it was here. Sorry. It should be here. You have a 1 here. ABC for wave 2. Okay, very, very, yeah, a running flat here, potential for a wave 2. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly. So these are, I think it was moved by mistake, this count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finish wave 1. Correction. Of course, this has ended up as another bigger correction. You cannot see really clean impulse here. So A, B, and a C potential running flat. And you have 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. The same scenario that we saw, of course, in the NASDAQ might, of course, play the same on the SPX. Let's move in the daily a little bit closer and see what do we have. So yes, we have 1 2, definitely 1 2 1 2 3. You're looking for this wave 4 in the white scenario. This wave 4, perfect hit again, 100% precision, very nice, inside the 0.38, 0.5 fib level, which it should be, of course, a perfect fib levels for wave 4 in a 1 2 3 and ABC wave 4 5 toward the upside. Okay, meaning right now we are looking for a wave 5. If we are rebounding toward the upside, we are looking for wave 5. But on the SPX, what is different inside this area is that you have an impulse, clean impulse toward the downside. I'm gonna explain. Maybe on the 2-hour chart is much more nicer. Yeah, here we go. So, what do we have here is the following. You have an impulse here as a wave 1, 2, you got your wave 3, you got a wave 4, not invalidated, very nice, okay, as an impulse, and you're seeking for a wave 5. Your wave 5 is very extended, 1 2 3, right? And you're looking right now at a wave 4 potentially, not finished yet. Why? Because you did not invalidate this impulse yet. Meaning, right now you are in a big impulse, 1 2 3 4, not invalidated yet. Meaning, this price here is your invalidation. Invalidation of bearish. Okay? And that because, of course, after 3 waves here as zigzag, ABC, if we end up as a zigzag and we don't see higher prices taking this level, yeah, which is, let's put the price 5,489, we would like to see this price taken. We would like to see the wave 4 invalidating this impulse toward the downside. And with this, it's gonna invalidate, of course, a wave 5. As you can see, we're still looking for one more low, right, to finish a 1 2 3 4 and a 5. Your wave 5 is 1 2 3 4 and a 5. Still can be there. It depends again on the market sentiments and of course on the news. Okay, so basically right now, if this invalidation is taken, I would say yes, higher potential to move towards the upside. Okay, if we take this invalidation point, and of course it depends what is gonna be here. So if we're gonna see a 1 2 3 4 and a 5 leading diagonal, wave 2 again after a wave 1 2 and then 3 4 5 towards the upside, that would be great. Unless we get a very nice news, yeah, continuation simply toward the upside as a 1 2 and then 3 4 and a 5. You would like to see the following targets hit. Let's check. Here we go. It's the same as NASDAQ. 1.27 has been hit. Better price would be, of course, the 1.618 as 1 2 3 4 and a 5. If this happens, I would say we are back for a good bullish market. Okay, this is for SPX. If we see impulsive waves toward the downside, this is your wave 5 definitely unfolding here. You're looking for a finished potential wave Y, but you don't have to forget that also on the SPX you might be very close for the invalidation of a bullish market. Okay, here we go. Recession signal, which is at the following target, 4,628. Why it is a recession signal? Because if you take this 1 2 and then 3, your wave 4 interfere with the zone 1, which is here, invalidation of this impulse. And that means, of course, it's gonna turn the whole area here as a corrective structure, meaning W, X, and a Y toward the downside, which is not, of course, nice to see. Therefore, you don't want to see the price going back down. Now, SPX can have some space, some gap for a wave 5, even if it's want to finish this and move towards the downside as an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So your wave 5 here can be, all right, can be taking the low without hitting or invalidation of the main impulse, which it can be saved somehow. But it depends also on NASDAQ, guys. It's not about SPX as well. The whole things. Yeah, so these are the major or the general overview for NASDAQ and SPX. Let's check, of course, on Tesla. On Tesla, yeah, so Tesla is still not really so strong. We are still in a very strong impulse toward the downside. You have potential 1, 2, 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 1, 2 again for your wave 3, 4, and a 5. 4 and a 5 finished, and you're still looking for a 4 and a 5 in the yellow scenario. So we cannot really say that we are moving in bullish scenario here. If we are in a wave 4 for the yellow, you are looking therefore for the following target based on, okay, we reach already the 0.23, so that is nice. Now, okay, let's leave it. Let's remove this. Based on the time, let's take the time as well. Based on the time, we're looking at the following. Here we go. Wave 4 over wave 2. So yeah, you still need a time anyway to finish this correction for a wave 4. And that means, this is a very fast move towards the upside, guys. Okay, very fast. And that means, of course, we might still see something unfolding here. Can be something corrective toward the downside or triangle, yeah. And then maybe W, X, and Y moving for higher again to hit the 0.38, this level. And that means, of course, moving toward the downside for a wave 5. Breaking these levels, well, it needs a lot. This is a problem with Tesla. It needs a lot of bullish scenarios or bullish prices to say that it might, of course, turn into very bullish. So your invalidation of bearish is very high. Invalidation of bearish, okay, so meaning at this price, 374. Reaching this price, I would say this is 90% possibility to move for higher for new all-time high. Currently, we are still under the invalidation of this impulse toward the downside, meaning you still in a risk, of course, to move for lower, guys. Whatever is going to happen here in this area, you are still inside an impulse for lower. Yeah. Before seeing the price breaking the 0.38 toward the upside, getting to the invalidation point, we cannot say, of course, that we are bullish. Breaking this toward the upside, yeah, then new all-time high, I would say, for Tesla. Let's dive inside it. On the 1 hour chart, this is a problem. Here we go. So you can see very clearly that you have kind of like 3 waves toward the upside. It is 3 waves and not an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is your wave 4 and a 5? You already got a gap and covered again and very massively, even reaching potentially here to the 0.886. Let's see if the 886 is hit. That means, yeah, it is hit. Okay, it is hit, guys. So that's that's not a 1, 2, I would say. Very low possibility that it is a 1, 2, 3, and it's high possibility that an ABC is unfolding here. Yeah, potentially I would say if you are in 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3, then you still have 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one more leg toward the upside. After, of course, ranging a little bit here for the time, as you can see. So we might see some sideways today or a little bit lower and then moving for one more leg to take the all-time high here of this area, of course, only. So this is what I see for Tesla. It is still corrective, guys. It is still very potential that we are still in a wave 4 in the yellow scenario, and very potential that we move for lower. One more time again, as you can see, the 1-to-1 fib level here was not hit yet for this scenario, so this might be of course your wave 5. Here we go, where we have this scenario is taken from okay, yes, exactly. So okay, no, sorry, this one is an old target for this wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. It was expected a little bit much more that the wave 5 dive or hit the 0.618, but we just simply took the low, meaning very, very, I would say, very pure impulse, taking the low, but not reaching the perfect targets. Yeah, but you took the low, so it is a perfect impulse here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can remove this. Here we go. Our next target in confluence, therefore, is this one. 1, 2 in the yellow, because we are in the yellow scenario right now. And based on the wave 3 here, let's use the snap. It's wave 5 over 1. Here we go. This is exactly your wave 5. Exactly. This is what I want to see. Here we go. And between the time, potentially even after this time, because this time is for the wave 4, so potentially the impulse might be fast and of course moving inside this area. Here we go. Yeah, this is a confluence, guys. This is a confluence that we might have for Tesla. Because it is still corrective potentially, you might still hit the 0.38 in this one more leg and then moving down again toward the downside. But to be reanalyzed step by step, guys, of course, it depends on the sentiments and the news again. However, higher possibility in Tesla that we are bearish. Activated. Hello, man. How you doing? Yeah, so basically, this is what we are looking for in Tesla. Let's check for Nvidia. Here we go. Nvidia, okay, let's see what happens. Let's go back into the main scenarios. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Yeah, we have double 1, 2 as well. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. For a wave 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, finishing wave 3. Nice in the orange. We got our target for a wave 4. Very nice hit, by the way. Perfect hit for the fib time. Wow, very, very precise for the fib time, by the way. It's nice to see it. And very precise for the 0.38 inside the blue box, right? Now, of course, it has, yeah, overpassed it, but it's very normal. You want to take the low, guys. Yeah? It's an A, B, and a C, or W, X, and a Y. You would like to see the low taken. And that's why, of course, it's gonna overshoot the blue box and get inside it again. Nvidia is bullish, okay? Already from the big, from the overview, is looking bullish, and that because it looks like we finished a WXY, and why it is a complex structure as WXY, because you don't have any kind of impulse toward the downside. Even you cannot count an ending diagonal for an A, B, and a C. Why? Because your wave 5 is longer than the wave 3. You have overpassed this 1-to-1 fib level. Okay, as you can see, wave 5 longer than the wave 3, meaning no impulse, no ending diagonal, no ABC, W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y has to be finished in several structure, double zigzag. Here we go, and this is your X. Very nice, right? So finished structure and moving impulsively towards the upside. Now, is that a clean impulse or is it like Tesla? Let's see. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say this is an impulse, guys. It looks like 3 ways towards the upside again. But the good thing is that it looks very, very sharp. Yeah. Covering this gap again, which we had, of course, on most of the stocks. But as you might see, okay, it didn't reach the low again, right? So it just moved toward the upside. Now, if it is an ABC, what it might happen next? If this is corrective, what it might be next? It might be a much more complex structure, right? It might a bigger complex structure, which it can be a W, X, Y, X, and a Z again. Yeah. So one more leg toward the downside in case we are corrective. Now, if in case this turns internally, and what I mean internally, that you cannot really count or see this impulse where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you can see, I'm very, very micro here in the 5-minute chart, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and that because you cannot see what's going on here. If you want to count this as a wave 1, A, B, and a C running flat, or WXY, and moving towards the upside, obviously it's a running flat because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse toward the downside, failing to take the low. Running flat, very nice. And of course, 1, 2, and you're looking for a wave 3. Okay? So it is potential, but don't forget that an impulse can be a wave A as well, meaning A, B, and a C. But of course, the possibility is still there for a wave 1, 2. Okay, this is what I mean with it. So what is the signal? What is the signal that we are moving for higher? What is the signal that we are really bullish? Our signal for being bullish is, of course, the wave 3 impulse toward the upside. Here we go. This is the box that you would like to hit. Meaning, if you seek for an impulse in Nvidia, you would like to see the 1.618 and the 1.27 hit. If we don't see this, if we don't see 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, forget about it. Don't forget an ABC can still be, of course, extended wave C, hitting the 1.618, and then moving impulsively in validation of the impulse. Don't forget this, of course. If this happens, therefore, of course, we are bearish. Currently, we are at the 1-to-1 fib level, right? Here we go. Still looking for one more leg towards the upside, I would say, because, you know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, I would say. Very close to hit the 1-to-1 fib level. You would like to see a move down and then move up, taking the high, preferably entering the blue zone, and we take it from there. If we see 3 waves down without invalidation, without taking this this wave 1 here, by the way, this is your invalidation here, okay, and moving toward the upside. So let's put this, to not forget it, for the next scenario. Invalidation of bullish. Okay, so this is our key level. Currently, we are bullish. If we see the price coming back to the blue zone, that is not nice. First, you would like anyway to see it outside the blue zone. If we see it outside the blue zone, hitting the new blue zone, that would be awesome. Seeing the price ranging in between and moving for higher, okay, we are much higher potential in a bullish scenario. Very simple. Okay, so that was it for Nvidia. Alright, so guys, this is gonna be a very short live stream for NASDAQ, SPX, Tesla, and Nvidia. I might do Apple and Amazon as videos next uploads, but I need, of course, to take care for other markets as well, analysis. So I would like to finish the stream here with those 4 main stock markets, guys. If you have any questions, I would be glad also to answer it for you guys if you have any before I close the stream. So, of course, basically an overview as a conclusion for the stock market. We're still looking for one more leg toward the upside and to be reanalyzed. Better to have a better news to see much more bullish. If we don't get a better news than this, yeah, don't expect, of course, that we move really impulsive for higher. Subhi, welcome. Thank you, man. You're very welcome as well. All right, guys, so I'm gonna finish the stream here. I wish you a nice trading day and trade safe as always. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.